Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. It's infinite life cleric time, baby. We're gonna fling our teeny tiny creatures at our opponent for lethal. So how does this deck work? We're gonna be playing cards that are clerics and cards that get bigger when they're targeted. Task Force says whenever it becomes a target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+3 until end of turn. And Daru Spiritualist says whenever a cleric you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, it's +0/+2 until end of turn. So we've got 8 of those. And then we've got 5 enablers. One is Nomads in Core, which is 1 mana, 1/1. And that for 0 mana, you can deal the next 1 damage that would be dealt to Nomads in Core this turn to target creature you control instead. So we basically for 0 mana, infinite times, give these infinite life, or infinite toughness. So they get infinitely large. Spirits in Core is 4 mana, does the same thing. So once you have infinite toughness, you Devour Flesh yourself for infinite life. So we then can't die. So we're just infinite life, we're good. Once you have infinite life, we're trying to figure out how to actually win the game. We can inside out our creature to give it infinite power, and then Rite of Consumption with Dispel and Prohibit backup. And then it says sacrifice a creature, deals damage equal to that sacrificed creature's power to target player or planeswalker. You gain the life, so we're just going to basically, in black, fling at our opponent. Pretty sweet. We also have Wedding Invitation, or we could just inside out on attacks. So we attack with a bunch of creatures. So if we have like 3 of these, one gets unblocked, we give it infinite toughness, we flip it with inside out, and then we smack in for lethal. Just a couple of ways to protect, a bunch of cantrips to set up. Ponder, 4 Ponder, 3 Preordain. And this list comes to me from Ethan, who is a Patreon subscriber and gave me a deck donation. So I really appreciate that, Ethan. Thank you very much for your support. If you want to do a deck donation, that is on the Patreon. It's a monthly thing, or if you want to, you can just sign up for a single time and we can run your list straight through League and have some fun. Back to the deck. We have our 7 cantrips plus 3 impulse to find our combo pieces. Couple of snaps to clear the way. The 3 counterspells in the deck are 2 Dispel and a Prohibit. And then we've got Lorien Reveal to smooth out our mana base and draw cards. And also, the mana base is interesting. They're playing 5 island, 6 plains, 1 swamp. I'm a little bit concerned that the number of islands is too small, but we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13 basically islands, so we should be able to get our cantrips off in time. I feel like this deck would probably want 1 or 2 plains, so that would be my only comment from there. And then over here on the sideboard, we've got more prohibits. I'm just going to upgrade the to the old border here. We've got a negate, 2 more dispels, suffocating fumes for go wide decks, 4 hydroblast for burn, another Wedding Invitation for cantripping and then smacking in for lethal. Singleton Tormod's Crypt here. Seems okay. And then 2 Prismatic Strands. So Tormod's Crypt is for hating out graveyards. And then we got the Prismatic Strands for red as well. So let me just upgrade my arts. And thanks again to Ethan for being a Patreon. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the matches. Round 1, we are versus 2, 4, 6. Ooh. And we have a cleric. We got good lands. Inside out. I'm going to keep this. Just lean on Island Ponder. Land, Ponder. Just looking for setup cards in the blind, basically. So, we can't cast any of these. I'm gonna shuffle. You find a Devour Flesh anyway, so we're close to having the combo. We need a black source. Our opponent's on gates, so let's just get our Spiritualist out. So if we rip exactly Nomads in Core, we could play that, attack, then journey our creature. Okay, fine. Land pass. Didn't we shuffle? Did I not shuffle? Chooses to shuffle. I chose to shuffle, but I drew them anyway. Wild. Right, so guess we didn't make our land drop, so I'm gonna impulse. Put the spell back up. No, I can't really let them spell pierce my impulse, given that I'm impulsing for a land. So I'll take the Ash Barrens and pass the turn. I guess at least the Devour Flesh can be kind of nice against their big ol' creature. So if they gate up their cat or something, we can devour it. Devour. Okay, so there's another Spiritualist. Grab our Swamp, play that. I'll pass the turn. It's worth noting that Rite of Consumption deals damage, so it doesn't get around Prismatic Strands. They're holding up Counterspell. Let's go Devour Flesh. Get rid of your cat. See if they want to counter it. They do not. My island, pass the turn. We have stuff going on, but not enough. So our opponent's cantripping. I can tell that they have a counterspell in hand. Now they can play the cat and a preordain, which is good. Let's set up more. Lorien revealed, huh? I'm gonna bottom the snap and top the Lorien and see if I can get them to use their counterspell. So let's play this Daru Spiritualist. Not really getting anywhere right now. They're gonna take it, or let it resolve. They make a treasure token, so they have tons and tons of mana. 5 cards in hand. They have the one counterspell probably. Okay, Journey to Nowhere yet again. Our thing gets bigger but dies. Journey to Nowhere is frustrating. I gate their creature and we're gonna snap it. Now they can use their counterspell. But now we're going to be able to resolve our Lorien Revealed and draw into the, hopefully draw into something to help me kind of stabilize. So draw 3 cards. What is Beachfront? So now, okay, Guardian of the Guild pack is not great. Let's see if they have another counterspell. I guess they might. We have our Nomads. Play the Wedding Invitation. Okay, I'm going to attempt to play my Task Force out. My Nomads. Okay, so now we have infinite blocks. 6. So if they have another Basilisk Gate, we're dead. I think we can combo them this turn. The Wedding Invitation for the Task Force. We play Squadron Hawk, so I think they are dead. We have enough mana to cast Inside Out twice through counterspells. It was looking bad there for a second. I mean, if they find a Journey to Nowhere here, they draw 3 cards after Squadron Hawking, so they can play the Squadron Hawk again and then make that an Ancestral Recall. They play a Basilisk Gate. So do they want to threaten lethal next turn, or do they want to hold up a counterspell? Getting a little, my heart's racing, trying to get this going. They're just going to attack with the Guardian. So they have counterspell plus maybe Spell Pierce. Alright, Wedding Invitation this. Okay. Inside Out. Can't be blocked. We have infinite damage now. Draw a card. Okay, make it bigger. Save targets always yield. Oh, but they could have strands. It seems like they probably have prismatic strands, right? So we present lethal, we attack. If they have hard cast prismatic strands here, it's not great. And I'll just make like 600 life and then, because I can flip my creature again and then Devour Flesh myself. Then I have to somehow land the Rite of Consumption. Okay. Then all white damage. I'm going to flip it again. Turn off the auto yields. I'm going to do save targets. And then we're going to go control. So when you hold control, you can just spam click this. Do it a million billion times. I'll just do this for like a minute or so. And then we're just hoping that they don't have a Spell Pierce or a Dispel right now. They already used one Spell Pierce. We are certainly putting things on the stack. I have literally no idea how many things we're putting on the stack. Doodle-doo. Holding control. I really wonder. Okay. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to have a Spell Pierce. But we're dead next turn anyway, so we kind of have to go for this. Alright, how many times do we do this? Okay. So now we're going to do always yield, or yield until end of turn, yield until end of turn. Okay, so everybody I think is yielding. You can see their clock usage is sort of happening. I don't know what's going on. There's some stuff flipping. The thing's getting bigger. It's at 108 now, 111. We really want like 5,000 life. 159, 167. They can attack for like 30 damage a turn with the Basilisk Gates though. So it's not going to buy us that much time to have 200 life. The stack resolving is going weirdly. 225. Let's do it again. I think I'm going to go to 300. Maybe I'll just stop at like 18 minutes on clock. So we know they have at least 3 more counterspells in their deck. I don't know if they're playing something like Lose Focus. And we only have 2 counterspells left in our deck. So it'll be pretty difficult to actually resolve our combo. Alright, that's fine. 276. Devour Flesh ourselves. Sacrifice this. Okay, your turn. We're at 287. I wonder if they also got kind of punked by like F6ing just to get through the triggers. Wow, they scooped to the infinite life. That's amazing. Solid. Alright, Dispel. I wonder if Fumes is good. Probably not. I don't think Snap is where we want to be right now. More cantrips is good. We have 3 ways to deal them damage. I think I'm just going to bring in 4 Dispels. We can cut 1 Task Force. So we have 8 and 5. That's probably fine. Okay, so we've got a blue-white land, but no second land and no cantrip. I think I have to mulligan. Now we have Strands, Task Force, Preordain. I'm going to keep and then get rid of this Severed Strands. Done. So we're going to go land for an island. Pass a turn. And then I always yield until next end step, just to get through the triggers and stuff. We play a land, holding up Counterspell. Let's cycle for an island. Play the island. I'll pass the turn. I don't really want to kick off with their Spell Pierce on my Preordain. I'm going to play a land, play Wedding Invitation. This is where I think this has too many planes. Just floating on planes. Okay, we have the combo now. Alright, pretty good. So do I want to Preordain? I guess no. Play Basilisk Gate. They jam a Guardian, so now is our chance to put out our creatures, and they have to have a Journey into Nowhere, which they certainly could have. Play Nomads. Play the Task Force. Next turn we can cycle for an island, and then we can Dispel. Just flip our creature and attack. We play a gate. Journey nowhere, okay. Disappointing. Get rid of the creature that gets bigger. Attack for 2. Okay, well I will attack you for 1. So we're looking for We have the Wedding Invitation, so we don't need black mana now. Cycle. Grab an island. Cast Preordain. We're looking for a Spiritualist. Devour Flesh. Bottom these. I can't cast a Devour Flesh right now. Cast Ponder. Shuffle that. Darn. Pass the turn. Guess I attack. Can't do anything else. Pass the turn. So they're gonna beat us down with this Guardian. We have a Dispel. I guess the Dispel should be, it makes sense for it to be prohibits and negates just being able to counter the journeys. Okay, I'll think about that. Another Dispel. That's not great. Let's just flip our creature. Draw a card. They have CawGate for Pyroblast. Spell your Red Blast. Draw a card. That's a turn. I think we're gonna die this time. Guarding the Guilt Pact is pretty good. We just have only lands. I think we need like, I don't know. So they're gonna attack for 6 and then 7, and we can't win. I think they got it. Let's draw some cards. So where did we go wrong? Oh, I have too many. I still had a prohibit there. Let's keep all of our creatures in. I really liked the infinite life combo. That was pretty sweet. We need all 4 inside outs to win the game. Rite of Consumption. Okay, so this is basically 5 Devour Flesh, 2 Rite of Consumptions. I think I'm just going to cut one of those, and then a Dispel, and then try to go with as much card draw as possible. The Journey into Nowheres are being a pain. We need like a way to kill all of them. We have one of our creatures, a bunch of cantrips, and a Wedding Invitation. That seems pretty good. So I guess we lead on Ponder. Okay. So we have the Aquifer, Spiritualist. So we can play Island, take all those, no shuffle, pass the turn. And then we can play the Aquifer and preordain past the Island. But we might want the Island, I don't know. Or we can just jam our Wedding Invitation here. I'm going to preordain first. Get rid of the plains. And the question is, do I want this island? I already have a land drop set up. I think I'm going to keep it though because it allows me to play out the Spiritualist and then in a turn and then not get got by the journey. We play a land. Okay, so I can just play out a Task Force since I have another one. Use all my mana. They could counterspell it here. Donk. So, what do we do? I think I play the Wedding Invitation out. They're going to preordain. Plays a land. So holding up another counterspell. Let's go Spiritualist. Since we have another copy of that. They're going to counterspell. Okay, so we're going to play our Wedding Invitation. Draw a card. Now we have the Infinite Life combo. Okay, Modern Age enters the battlefield. Let's see if they discard a Strands. They discard a Gate, which is weird. We're looking for a... I'm gonna say we're looking for land, or so we could play the Prohibit. They have 4 cards in hand. What are the odds they have a Journey? I guess I'm just gonna go for it. Pass the turn. I got nothing now. So they're looting here off of their Modern Age. Right now we only have 4 lands. Too many Devour Fleshes in hand. I think we need some card advantage in this deck. But I'm not sure how to make that happen. This card's a Brainstorm. I guess if we had our own Modern Ages and Deep Analysis, that would be good. Let's preordain, looking for lands. Find a Dispel and a Prohibit. Let's bottom the Prohibit, top the Dispel, and then play out a Spiritualist. They've already played 2 counterspells, so they'd have to have Counterspell in hand plus Spell Pierce. Okay, they have a Red Blast. Maybe. We can make Infinite Life again. We are dead to a Journey once again, though. We have a Vector Glider. We have the Gate. Squadron Hawk. So, depending on what they do, they have 3 cards in hand, and then they're going to go to 6 with the Squadron Hawks. At any moment, if we leave up our mana, we can go Devour Flesh for Infinite Life. They did scoop to Infinite Life before. Okay, I'll preordain. I'm looking for Inside Out. Spell Ponder. Pop the Ponder, I guess. Ponder. Credit consumption deals damage equal to sacrifice creature's power. So, fortunately, I'll just take the Lorien and grab an island. Island, pass the turn. So we can set up Protected Infinite Life. Double protection. They brainstorm. I wonder if I want to just counter the Squawk at this point. Probably not though, because we have Infinite Life. I don't need to worry about the Squawks. They just play a land and pass. Attack for 3. Okay. There's another Modern Age. So they're not going for the Brainstorm into Squadron Hawk, which is weird. They discard a Sacred Cat. I guess if we just make Infinite Life, they can't really win because they don't have enough time. I'm not sure. They Embalm the Kitty Cat. They're holding up 1 counterspell. So if we find exactly Inside Out, we can win. So now we have a bunch of ways to deal them damage. Let's attack. Yeah. They're going to block with their cat. This is a 1/3, right? It is. Oh, because they're afraid of flank, or Inside Out. Threaten. Threat of activation. That's good. With the target creature's power. So, we still have to watch out for strands and stuff. They make their hawk bigger, so this is 8 damage in the air. Get in. I guess maybe last turn would have been a better time to go for... So now we can actually start using Devour Flesh on our opponent, depending if they are going to go for the kill or not. Well, they have 3 creatures. That's not very good yet, then. 2. They squawk. Get in for 8. Okay, so I guess I have to go for Devour Flesh this turn. Kinda stinks. Oh no, I don't have the thing. Oh, that's bad. Devour Flesh you. I was confused. I thought this was the Encore. That's certainly bad for me. Impulse? Yeah, I think I die. Whoops. Okay, Dispel. Yeah, never mind. My bad. Neither of these were my creature that gives it makes the thing bigger, so whoops. Let's go to round 2. We're here in round 2. We're on the play. We have no lands. Mulligan. We have 1 land exactly. 2 lands with the Lorien. We have Task Force. I guess we're keeping. Then I'll put back right Dispel. Keep. I'll just put back the Dispel. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have put back the Dispel. What are you up to, opponent? We're gonna go Beachfront, cycle for the black land. Alright, we'll just play the Beachfront out and pass the turn. Really need some cantrips. Opponent plays Island into Fairy Seer. Takes Guess we can Devour Flesh there. Seer. Okay, so let's go cycle Aquifer, play the Aquifer, pass the turn. I don't know if Mono Blue Fairies is going to be able to beat Infinite Life. To get in. Land. So they'd have to have Counterspell. I'm going to attempt to play this Task Force spell. Yep. Of course, they have it. I mean, you gotta try. Get in. So do you also have Spellsetter Sprite? No. Okay. So let's put back Nomads, or keep the Nomads. No shuffle. Play the Nomads. Then another Nomads. Okay, pass the turn. They have a Brine Barrow Intruder. So they don't seem to have Spellsetter Sprite, and they didn't want to use another counterspell there if they had another one. But they have an of 1 mind for a draw 2. 1 mana draw 2. They get in for a billion. Okay. No ninja. Alright, we're going to see if they have the Sprite. They didn't before, but they do now. Ah! Okay. Sorry. That's my fault. Let's see. So we want the Fumes. Prohibit is better against Sprite than Dispel. Don't know if I want Snap. We'll bring in another Prohibit. I'm going to cut the 2 Dispels. Maybe not. So I'm going to get rid of the Wedding Invitation. And then one of our expensive spells, a Task. I guess a Task Force. And submit. Okay, who would like to play first? I'm gonna keep this because I have the Devour Flesh. So I can beachfront cycle black, and then if they ninja me, I can kill their ninja, basically with the Edict. But I have no cantrips. Maybe this should just be on 12 cantrips. Okay, play the land, go. I don't think this is a very good hand, but I don't really have any other options. So I don't want to mulligan lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have our mana base set up. You can kill a couple of creatures. So that's why I'm keeping it. Our opponent takes their time, plays an island, and passes the turn. We're going to cycle, grab our Aquifer. Okay, Aquifer, play that, your turn. As expected, they flashed in a Brine Barrow Intruder. They seem to be doing a couple things at once here because they flashed it in at the end of turn, but it took them a minute to do it. They've got the ninja. They miss, and they tried to ninja during attacks, but they figured it out eventually. Alright, kill your ninja. And then we're going to preordain. Top both, I guess. We're just trying to set up the island. So we know they have the Brine Barrow Intruder. That means that if I go for Devour Flesh on their Spellsetter Sprite, they can just flash in the Brine Barrow. Here comes the Brine Barrow Intruder. We're going to Impulse. Prohibit, huh? Let's go for that. Counter that. We've got a Spell Pierce. And then another ninja. Get in. We have the ninja. Wow, we are super dead. Super dead. Okay. Let's preordain. We can Fumes. Wow. I guess I need to do that. Bottom this, top this. Try to kill your thing. They just play Brine Barrow to sacrifice instead. Alright, I think they got us. Let's concede and go to the next game. But let's look at what we're going to draw. Impulse, Devour Flesh. Somehow the mix of lands and spells is not working out. Interesting. Well, we did get to combo once. Let's try to do it again. Round 3. So now we're going to understand the things we have to do. So obviously we're going to have to mulligan this one. We have to mulligan this one as well, the double Ash Baron's hand. What do we got? They mulligan to 5. We're going to keep and put back Strands inside out. We have the Spiritualist as our creature to get bigger. Our opponent mulligans to 4, so everyone's unlucky right now. Unfortunately, okay, so we're going to go Island Ponder. We have Aquifer Ponder, Wedding Invitation. So, keep. And I'm going to play the Wedding Invitation out, drawing the Ponder and the Aquifer. Then I will Ponder, looking for a white source. So they're on Boros. Wedding Invitation. We draw the Ponder that we knew about. Jeskai, okay. Let's Ponder. Draw a black source, it's just not really where I wanted to be. Task Force. Okay, so we can put back the Task Force and the Ash Barons and take the Impulse. Then go land into Impulse. Alright, none of this is useful. Oh, I do want the Ash Barons, right? Okay, so I want the white source. Any order? Man, I guess it's too early in the morning for me. Play the Aquifer out and then pass the turn. We're gonna Wildfire. They Wildfire their land. There's another land. Play my Aquifer. Pass the turn. I mean, the good thing is that we have probably plenty of time. Opponent brainstorms. Maybe this deck could be on Brainstorm over some number of impulses. Because it seemed like we got stuck with stuff in hand. And they Wildfire their land. They have more lands in hand. Or more lands in play. I'll grab a Plains. And cycle. Grab an island. Draw. They're holding up Counterspell. Let's preordain. So now we have the Nomads. Task Force on the bottom. Nomads on top. Play the Plains. Pass the turn. We don't have any way to protect these things. They play a land. They play a land and pass. My expectation is that they have a counterspell. This is probably where I should have had double white instead of holding all these islands. Okay, draw. Task Force. So we have double Task Force. Probably not going to get killed by a bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a Scred. I guess I could get killed by a Scred here. But they're just letting that go. They have 4 on the table. Interesting. Okay, so now we have the Devour Flesh. Let's play this Spiritualist. Alright. Their swing. I don't know what's in their hand. Maybe they just have a bunch of lands. It's like best case scenario for us. We need to find some sort of protection spell for the Nomads so we can go off. They're going to evoke a Drifter. So if they go for Ephemerate, I will Devour Flesh them. Then they have to counterspell. They have a Dispel. 5 cards in hand. Play an Augur of Bolus. Find another Ephemerate. Find a Dispel. So this is our moment, I guess. Play the Nomads. Guess I'm gonna Wedding Invitation my Task Force. We'll attack with both creatures. And inside out this guy. Hopefully they go for counterspell on that, I guess. Let's see if they... Okay, so they're leaving up just a single white, so I'm going to use a Dispel then. If they had a red source, I would have to just inside out it again. We draw a card. And then this one. Okay. Make it gigantic. Somehow we navigated the game to win. Our opponent had a mulligan to 5. Here comes the big daddy. Task force coming in. Let's hit them for a very large amount. At least 50, right? I like to say there's no kill like overkill. This is just showboating. Alright, there you go. Taste it. Negative 44. Okay, we won one game. Snap not needed. We probably just want 1 mana interaction. We want dispels. We want Hydroblast probably. Let's trim on creatures. Bring in the Hydroblast. Trim on. Let's bring in another Wedding Invitation. That's a cantrip. The question is, do we want to just use this Rite of Consumption? I don't think. Maybe that's just not really necessary here. This fling. But I do like the just inside out attack you. I guess we're bringing the Crypt. Submit. So we have the potential for the inside out. We also have the infinite life combo. And if we make like 1,000 life, we can just pass the turn and forever. We have Beachfront, and then we can Ponder, Shuffle, getting a Swamp. We also have the Spiritualist. Okay, land, go. So now we have 2 parts of our infinite life combo. They're going to Wildfire their land. So probably should just play the Spiritualist, but it does die to a Bolt right now. So maybe not. Let's go Ponder. Looking for the Nomads, I guess. Lorien Revealed, huh? So we have 5 lands already. I guess I'll take that. And then cycle, grabbing the Swamp. Pass the turn. Our opponent brainstorms. So they could go brainstorm into Wildfire and then draw a bunch of cards. Make that brainstorm really good. And then they play Augur Bolas. So they're just setting up the Augur. What do they reveal? Counterspell. Okay. They have second Spiritualist. Play the Swamp they know about. Play a Spiritualist and pass the turn. Actually, if we get a second Spiritualist down, everything gets +0, +2 twice. So that would mean we could not be dead to any red removal. I'm gonna play a Bolt. No. Nothing. For the island. Play Spiritualist. They don't care about that. Okay. I think this works the way that I want it to work. They brainstorm. Are you gonna tap out? If you tap out, I'll tap out. I'll split Lorien Reveal. Okay, nothing for our opponent. They're just hanging out. Island, go. We have to get to a point where we can actually resolve the Lorien Revealed. It might be kind of difficult. The second plane's already. We only have the 1 Swamp. They're going to evoke a Drifter. This means that I can resolve the Lorien Revealed on my turn because they can't counterspell it. I'll be able to respond with Dispel. So that's pretty good for me. And my thing would die to a Scred. They cycle a Lorien. I don't think they have a... Oh, they do have a land drop this turn. Okay. Play an island. Let's cycle. Grabbing an island. And pass the turn. We probably just need more beachfronts in the deck. We're going to resolve a Lorien Revealed. Counterspell means a Dispel. We had exactly 6 mana to be able to do that. We have another Lorien Revealed. So we could try for a second draw 3 with a Dispel backup. Right now they have 6 lands, so they can just Scred both my creatures here. They hardcast a Muldrifter. Okay, so Okay, we don't have the thing. Play the plains. I'm gonna cast a Lorien. Resolves. Let's ponder. Then we can use the Ash Barrens. Impulse, impulse, inside out. So I guess I want all of these. And then I guess just pass. So we're looking to get to the point where we can smack them. We can't inside out them to death right now. I'm gonna discard plains. They attack us for 2. That's fine. 7 cards in hand. They have Preordain. It was kind of our moment to go for the win, but we just didn't have the setup. And they pass the turn. Let's play plains. We know we want the impulse that's on top. Hydroblast impulse. Guess I'll top both. Then I'll pass the turn. Next turn I'll draw the Hydroblast. I think I only have 1 island left on the deck. Can cycle for another island, play that out, and then on their end step go for double impulse, trying to set up a combo. Remember we have 5 creatures that can flip the, and you go for a Scred. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in response, impulse with the Nomads. I guess I'll take the Nomad, but they could have counter spells and stuff. Let's just try to keep fighting them here on the stack. I can shuffle here as well. Counter. And then decline to attack on accident. Cycle for an island. Shuffle that Nomads back near the top, hopefully. And then we're going to impulse. We have a Dispel. Okay, Nomads. Any order. Draw. We have double Nomads. This just destroys target creature and opponent controls. Interesting. Land. Play a Nomad. And another one. Okay, your turn, I guess. So now we have the ability to gain infinite life, assuming they don't do anything. But they have 7 cards in hand. They try to shoot the Nomad. We're just going to, like, protect it. It can't die to red removal. Red removal is now turned off completely, because our just Spiritualists can get gigantic. Do. Okay. So that's going to resolve. Nothing happens to the Nomad. And it's your turn. I'm going to Ephemerate their Muldrifter. I could have tried to... No, that's the sorcery. Okay. There's an Augur of Bolus. We are actually on parity somehow with cards. We have 7 cards in hand. We've drawn a lot of cards. So, like, if we go infinite cards, or infinite life, like, not sure that will win. We have Prohibit and Dispel to protect the Lorien. Cast Lorien revealed. Wow, they let it happen. Play Aquifer. Okay. I guess I should ponder. Looking for more protection. So double inside out. Let's take that. Take the Crypt. No shuffle. Play the Crypt out. That way we can stop them from using their Mancer. And pass the turn. The next turn we have double inside out and Wedding Invitation. But then it turns on their red removal spells. They Ephemerate the Muldrifter again, go up to 10 cards in hand now. And they play a Rustveil Bridge. They Wildfire their Bridge. So that's going to put them to 25 cards in library. 9 cards in hand. They can cast 4 pieces of interaction. Don't do anything. I guess we can attack. I wasn't thinking about that. Might as well, right? Because we can deal them 1 damage. We have Inside Out on top, and then a Nomad. Can play the Wedding Invitation. Play Nomad. Inside Out, Dispel, Prohibit. So they could counter, kill it, counter. Let's try it, I guess. Let's go Wedding Invitation, this Spiritualist. Inside Out. So that turns on their red removal. They have a Hydroblast. So I'll say okay. Try it again. Come on. Counterspell. Prohibit. Given that they're fighting over this, I would imagine they don't have red removal. Pyroblast. Spell. Okay. So pass the turn. And you take 1, I guess. Opponent's gonna play Mancer maybe? Yeah, Archaeomancer. So exile their graveyard. What is on top of our deck? We don't know what's on top, I think, right now. They have 2 cards in hand. How many counterspells did they use? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn off auto yields. And then their auto targets. Save targets here. And then I'm going to put 1 million of those on the stack. I'm basically just going to do this for like 2 or 3 minutes. My expectation is that they don't have another counterspell in hand. We'll see though. I don't think we have a better option than to just go for infinite life right now. And if we have like 600 life, there's no way that they can win the game other than decking us. We just have to get all of our combo pieces in hand. We have maybe some more counters that we can draw into. We can always just attack them with all the creatures that we have. Now we turn on our auto yield to let this all resolve. So they kind of have to have nothing in hand right now, but you know, let's see how big our Nomad gets. I was clicking for quite a while there. Maybe like 2 minutes. Maybe at some point we could actually just go wide enough with all of our creatures that we just attack them for lethal. Not really sure how to win the game after infinite life when they are potentially just going to have more cards in library than me. But they kind of have to like, they'd have to not cast any of their Muldrifters and stuff. No, it's at 53. I'm trying to scroll in the stack and see how big it is. It's very, very big. They might time out just clicking yes to the triggers. They can just auto yield to it as well. Oh man, weird. So league that I thought was gonna go quickly is we're grinding through it. Now everything finally resolved, and we're going to attempt to use our Severed Strands on their Drifter. Can we gain 377 life? Looks like they are just going to counter it. Okay. Play a Spiritualist. Pass the turn. 1, 2. I just had the 4th counterspell. Easy. I should have attacked. I messed up there. If they have Ephemerate, then they have Ephemerate. I probably shouldn't F6 either. Okay. Turn off auto yields. So we're gonna go control, click this one. I guess first we're going to attack. Okay, so now they did their blocking. Oh, I gotta clear auto yields. And then we're going to just resolve our 1 point of damage. I'm gonna turn off this auto yield, or this stop. And then we're gonna go 1 and save targets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 50 life. I'm just gonna spam click this until about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna Yield until next end step. Maybe. Oops. Just get ahead on clock. We're certainly putting triggers on the stack. Maybe until 8 minutes. This is very strange. Is infinite life good enough for a win condition? They could have a dispel here. What are you gonna do? Alright, that should be enough damage. Enough life. Okay, yield until that. Yield. Yield. Now we get to watch our monster grow. Magic core, make my monster grow. I don't know if you ever saw Power Rangers. That was a classic when I was a kiddo. So I think our opponent has also F6'd, and they are just letting us resolve these triggers. It's kind of hard to tell. Yep, it's still growing. And once it all resolves, we're going to just Devour Flesh ourselves. Then if they don't play any card draw spells, and they don't play any more creatures, then we can just attack for 1 damage 20 times, and then win the game. Oh no, we have, I guess they have 3, they have 4 blockers, okay. Devour Flesh ourselves. Okay. Darn. 6 minutes on clock, just resolving the triggers? Wow. Oh man, okay. Next game. Well, do we even want to go to the next game? I don't remember if we won. I don't even remember where we are in the world. I've just been resolving triggers. Flying. Pass the turn. We have a flying 2/2. So now our opponent untaps. 3 cards in hand. They wildfire. Now my goal is simply to play as fast as possible and let them time out, I guess. Kind of a bummer. Okay. They have 16 cards. I have 20. Now I can attack with the Spirit. You're gonna block? No. Okay. So we just wait and fill up our hand, I guess. Now they're at 16. 15 cards in library. Eventually they're going to find an Ephemerate. They attack. We're just trading damage. Technically we're winning the race. Okay, no longer are we winning the race. They probably should have played the Kenku pre-combat so they could get more damage in. I don't really understand what the purpose of that was. Okay. Once again. Control. So now they have less cards in library than we do. So that means that we just have to make 1,000,000 life. And then we just F6 and then let them deck out. Last time it cost us a lot of clock just resolving the triggers, so I'm going to have to do this probably stopping right here. Okay, that's fine. Always yield. So they would have to have another Dispel in hand. I have 457, so let's see if I will actually be able to resolve the triggers and have no time suck. Let's see. Right now we're at 45. 49. We're gaining a bunch of toughness. Realistically, I don't know how much damage they could do a turn. Probably like 30? 15 turns? Because they could eventually find an Ephemerate for their Kenku, and then make every single one of their lands into a 3/3. Obviously we can block. There's 101 life. So we should probably be fine with life. 113. So where are we at now? 133. 457. Yep, that cost us a bunch of time just resolving the triggers. That's crazy. Alright, well let's just keep doing this individually then so we know actually how much clock we have. What a weird game. That's kind of crazy though that just resolving the triggers is eating my clock. Don't appreciate that, Magic Online. 78. Alright, that's fine. Devour Flesh ourselves. Okay. F6. No, just keep F6ing. Playing Archaeomancer. I guess we shouldn't F6 here, because they could get the Wildfire. They're getting the counterspell. That's fine. Uh-oh, the lag's getting me. That's the turn. It's a turn again. So they're going to attack. I don't even know if I have enough seconds on the clock just to pass every turn. Pass the turn. No attacks. Pass the turn again. They play a land. The Archaeomancer. Getting back to spell. Fine. I can't believe this. Declares no attacks. 12 cards in library. Alright, pass the turn. I guess we should have played out the planes. Pass the turn again. No attacks for our opponent. Land. Pass the turn. No attacks. I wish I could skip the attack phase. I guess I can turn that off. It's the turn. Yes. No, I can't skip it. Darn. We have 216 just to keep F6ing through their deck. Pass the turn. They have 8 cards. This is very weird. Pass the turn again. They can't cast their Mulldrifters or their cantrips because that would just make them lose. They Cleansing Wildfire. We're just going to say no. They do draw a card off that. Don't know if that was the smartest thing to do for them. Land. Play this. Play this. I'm just getting cards out of my hand so I don't have to cast them. Pass the turn. No attacks. And if they want to wildfire me, it's fine. That actually speeds up our clock 1 turn. Pass the turn. This is sure a grind. 149 on clock. The only thing we can do is just sit back behind our infinite life. It'd be really funny to make infinite life versus red and then they deck out because they have too many reckless impulses. That's the turn. We have another Devour Flesh in case we need to gain infinite life again. We don't have enough time. Pass. Our opponent has 4 cards in the library. Given that they have more time on clock, they should probably attack. And we're almost to the point where we could use an inside out, but they're the Wedding Invitation. Pass the turn. And what are they doing? Nothing. 3 cards in the library. They have 8 cards in hand. They're discarding Augur Bolus. I will pass. 6 cards in hand. So I'm passing the turn again. They have 2 cards left in their library. I have 1:30 on clock, so now I feel very confident. Easy day. No lands left though, huh? Let's play the Spiritualist and pass the turn. That way I don't have to discard the hand size in 2 turns. Actually, I would have to discard the hand size in 2 turns anyway. They have 6 cards left. They have 2. They're working on their clock. They're working on actually having cards in library. But they just lose. They lose to infinite life. They refuse to concede, though. Because who wants to concede to infinite life past the turn? Oh, pass the turn. No attacks. I'm gonna Devour Flesh them to get a card out of my hand. No, we don't have to discard a hand size. Looks like they're just gonna sit on this and let themselves time out. That's really funny. Even if they're F6 here, they still have to choose what creature to sacrifice, so they can't, like, it's gonna eat their clock and kill them. They sacrifice. Okay. They probably should attack. Okay, they decline to attack. And we will pass the turn. Press the wrong button, I think. And let's watch them lose to decking. We are F6'd, so I don't care. You can do whatever you want. It's gonna Ephemerate the Kenku a couple of times. Make their creatures bigger. I mean, make their land into creatures. Yeah, that's okay. I don't care. That's the turn. So that actually also creates rebound triggers for them to do, which means that they're going to time out in their upkeep instead of losing to decking. Just making Kenku tokens. Just making their bridges bigger. They got 38 seconds. Wow. So we had a couple of really fast matchups, and then we used the entire 55 minutes. Okay, you got bridges, that's for sure. And they lost to decking. Cool, cool, cool. Weird game. Let's go to the next one. We're here in round 4. We're having a mulligan. We're on the draw. I guess I'm gonna keep this. Look back the plains. Okay, we're up against blue-red control. 4 blue-red fairies. Let's go for a preordain. I have the task force and a ponder, so I guess I'll keep both. I'm gonna draw the task force and then go ponder. We could shuffle on upkeep. Ponder. Okay, all right. These are all the things we need. No shuffle. Play the beachfront, pass the turn. So we have a dispel. We're gonna draw the encore. We have a brainstorm. So I have a preordain on top. I'm playing Augur Bolus. So I think I just play out the task force here, because they can't kill it with a Scred this turn. Land, task force. So now, the next thing to do would be to get the Nomad down. So they lightning bolt the task force, which doesn't do anything, so I appreciate that. Thank you. They go lol. I respond hehehe. I'm going to cycle for the swamp, play that, and then play my Nomad. Because now once this hits the battlefield, that means I have infinite blocks. They can't get past me now. So now all I need to do is get through them and flip my creature. Plays a mountain. They're going to play the Monarch. Murmuring Mystic, okay. So I'm going to attempt to Impulse. Or should I not? Let's Impulse. Find the Wedding Invitation. We're closer. So if we find a land, an untapped land, nope. Play the Wedding Invitation in case we draw an untapped land. If we draw it, they're dead. Nope. Okay. Land, let's preordain. We have a Spirit Encore, which we don't really need. Bottom, we have Inside Out and Devour Flesh and a Dispel. So let's bottom both. That's the turn. Can we punk them? We know they have Scred in hand. So they could have... Yeah, we can't really deal with all of those things. But we can make 500 million life and then pass the turn. Are you going to tap out for the Monarch? No. They cast Lorien Revealed, so now they're dead. Yeah! Sweet. It's that's the brew equity here. Okay, so go here. I'm just gonna resolve that one. And then we're gonna inside out this one. They're like, wait, what? What? Here comes the Scred. That's okay. I've got a dispel. Can't be blocked. Control. Save targets, this one. Okay, I put 15 triggers on a stack. So now it's really, really big. So the difference between this deck and Inside Out is Inside Out has to dump their hand to attack, and this one has to have the 2 creatures on the battlefield. So, I mean, this one does have like infinite blocks, which is cool. All right, we have a 50 million. It's going to be 48. Let's go 50 something. 51. A nice number. Make sure that I'm not yielding. Then I will attack and kill them. Because I have a Dispel, and you have a Scred. Okay, attack. They're just going to take it? You can't just take it. They have to go for the spread. Dispel. GG. Alright, so that was a fast one. I appreciate that. They did not know what we were up to. We don't need the Tormod's. I mean, the Tormod's Crypt is okay. Snap, I think, is not where we want to be. I would rather have, what, like Hydroblast? Spell, Hydroblast, Prohibit. Question is, do we ever think we're going to be able to write a Consumption then? Probably not. It seems like the weakest card in the deck. Let's bring the Wedding Invitation in as a cantrip. And then bring in Hydroblast just for the Monarch. And then my plan is to hopefully just Devour Flesh and have infinite life and then pass the turn. It's pretty silly. Okay, nope, can't keep that one. I'm gonna put back the Inside Out, and then I'll lead on the Beachfront. It's nice that we have all our colors here. We could also lead on Ponder or Preordain, since I know I'm not doing anything for a while. And that would get around a Spell Pierce. Our opponent leads on a Brainstorm. So let's, I guess, see what we draw. Devour Flesh. Let's play the Aquifer out then. We play a land. Augur Bolus. Revealing a Lightning Bolt. So we have a Spiritualist. I want to develop my white mana then. I'm going to Ponder and see what I see. Task Force, Hydroblast, and an Inside Out. I'll take the... I think I want none of these. I guess maybe the Hydroblast is good. And I can shuffle on Upkeep. So we're going to Island Cycle. Grab an Island. Take a draw. Let's cycle for Plains. Pass the turn. I was going to Preordain, but now I realize I don't want to die to the Monarch here. Okay, their turn. They play an Island. Interesting. Pass the turn. Play an Island. Pass the Preordain. We have double Hydroblast. We want the Inside Outs? I don't think so. Bottom and bottom. We have a Task Force now. We also have the Spiritualist in hand. Ponder for our opponent. We know they have Lightning Bolt in hand. They go for no shuffle. Play Ponder. Alright, so I think I can resolve this Task Force now. Get in. Okay, draw. We have the Nomads. Play the Task Force. Okay. Pass the turn. Get in for one. Play a Terror. Okay. We have a Dispel now. So let's Nomads. Play the Spiritualist. We have double counters. They can Hydroblast or Bolt the Nomads. Dispel. Bolt. We have Hydroblast. Now we have infinite blockers. I guess I should just save the targets now. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do 7 just in case. 7. One more, I'm scared. 8. Okay, so they all went to the Spiritualist. They play a Terror. They have one card in hand now. So, if auto yields. Control. Let's go for the Spiritualist again, and then start jamming. They've used 2 counterspells, so I feel like they don't have another one. We're going to go until 16 minutes, and then make infinite life. Hopefully. I have to remember that just resolving the triggers takes a long time. I wonder how much life this will be. I'm just spam clicking. I literally have no idea. Okay. Let's see what happens. Our opponent seems to be pressing OK through all the triggers, so they could have something that they're gonna do. It's probably not necessary for me to just go for this right now, but I don't think they have another counterspell. I think the odds are low that they have the third counterspell right now. And they'd have to have Dispel, because Spell Pierce wouldn't do it. They only have one card in hand. They still keep pressing OK through all the triggers, which is surprising. Our opponent was very kind. I explained what I was going to do, and they scooped it up to the infinite toughness. Alright, thank you very much. We'll see you in round 5. The 5th and final round versus EHDM, who likes to play Tribe combo. So they might be faster than us. And in the sideboard we have a bunch of spells. He accidentally skipped his turn. Let's ponder. Rite of Consumption. Let's do. Sacrifice a creature. Let's see. Well, we already have the Wedding Invitation, so the right doesn't seem necessary. Don't think I need the snap. I'll take the island. Pass a turn. And then we will shuffle for the planes. We're playing Jeskai. Okay, cycle for the planes. Beachfront. Play that. Pass the turn. So if they tap out here for a Wildfire, I can play out my Task Force because it's not going to die in anything. At the moment, anyway. And then we also have, we can cycle for the Swamp, and then play the Nomad, and then protect it with the Prohibit. Okay, so they preordain into preordain. And I'm turning off my auto yield there. Let's cycle for the Swamp. Like that. Play the Nomad. Do nothing. So I'm going to attack, and then I think I'll end step the Impulse. I want to be able to protect the Wedding Invitation. Interesting how much Jeskai there is around. Okay, cast an Impulse. You want to counter it? Since we can give this infinite toughness and this infinite protection, okay, let's take the Dispel. We have the combo, we just have to keep it on the table. Really want to use this Lorien for cards. Let's preordain. Okay. Bottom. Top the other preordain. Preordain, I'm just looking for lands. Well, I guess top and top. Play the land. Guess another Nomads is fine. Doesn't really do anything, but it's more clock. We just attack. Yeah. If they tap out for Muldrifter, I can resolve my Lorien Revealed. But otherwise, next turn I'm just going to play the Wedding Invitation. I'm going to Echoing Truth. I guess I'm going to attempt to cast Prohibit, since I already tapped off of my Dispel. They have a Counterspell. Alright. That means now they can kill my Nomads. Problems. Smart. I didn't expect them to have an Echoing Truth, that's for sure. Very surprising. Archaeomancer gets back a Counterspell. Okay. I'm gonna preordain, still looking for lands. I guess bottom and top. Now I can cycle the Lorien. Grab an island. Play the island. Play the Task Force again. And dispel their counterspell. Then I can attack for 2. And save targets here. Okay. Pass the turn, they go to 16. So they could always have an Ephemerate. Pretty annoying. So they can Ephemerate for counterspell? Okay. That's interesting. Let's play the Wedding Invitation. They might counterspell that. No. Okay. Cast Inside Out, targeting Task Force. 3 cards in hand. They have Counterspell. They also have Snap. Draw a card. It's Wedding Invitation. Okay. And then swing out. They have a Scred. Pretty annoying. Okay. Attempt to snap the Arcane-Mancer. I think we just lose. The Echoing Truth got me here. Alright, you got me. Snaps are not very good. Don't need the Ready Consumption, as we saw. And then the Severed Strands is kind of mediocre. So let's bring in Prohibit could be better than Negate. Spell, Hydroblast, Hydroblast, Wedding Invitation. Probably better to have. I wonder how many spells I want. I think I'm just going to keep it like this. Oh yeah, the Tormod's Crypt. That was kind of medium. We would like to play first. Keep. They mulligan to 6. So we could just run out the Nomad. I think we have to just grab an island though. Pass the turn. Because if we run this out blank, it's probably going to die to a Bolt. Let's cast the Wedding Invitation, draw a card, find a Lorien. So we can play. They Wildfire their land. Yep. Ponder. So we want the Dispel. Play the land. Cast an Impulse. We want the Prohibit. I guess so. Menu order. So next turn we play the Nomad. We have double protection. And then try to go for the Infinite Life combo. They have 4 cards, or 4 lands, I mean. We have Cleansing Wildfire and an Augured Bolus. Revealing a Red Blast. Find an Inside Out, which doesn't do very much. Play a Nomad. Pass the turn. So we have double counter to keep the Nomad alive. They go for a Wildfire. Fortunately, I think, well, let's take a draw. We found the Spiritualist. Oh, man. Cycle. Get an Aquifer. Play that. Pass the turn. Somehow we have to fight through all of this stuff. Like, I really wanted to play that out, but oh well. Ephemerate. Stinks. Then I cast a Prohibit. They have a counterspell, I counter back. So we know they have Red Blast in hand, but Red Blast can't do anything about Devour Flesh. So if they play their Arcane-Mancer and get back Ephemerate, then we can just make infinite toughness and then infinite life. I'm gonna try playing the Spiritualist out. It's a risk. If they have counterspell, we're dead. Okay, so now we can make infinite life. They're at less cards than us. They didn't have counterspell there. Arcane-Mancer. Okay. Gets Ephemerate. Okay. So we're going to draw a card. Play a land. That's the turn. So they're smart. They probably won't Ephemerate here. They're going for Ephemerate. What are they getting? This is our one shot here. Getting back counterspell. Alright, let's just see. He says he has counterspell in hand. I mean, realistically, we'd have to make more life than whatever. I mean, how much life would we have to for it to matter? It'd have to be like 500 life. That's funny. We'll go to 169. But instead I should have stopped at a specific number. Okay, do you have the I have the Devour Flesh for 169, infinite life, but they have the counterspell. They said they had it. I didn't make them show it. And we definitely cannot win anymore. So, oh well. GG's. Concede. So we got 2-3. I was tooling around with something else in the middle. Back to the Cleric combo. This deck is pretty cool. I really like the random I have infinite life combo. I think that's really interesting. Uh, Interested in playing it like the Mvani Gates one too, or maybe tweaking this one. I thought it was fun to play, and I really appreciate it from Ethan for the deck donation. Thank you very much. If you're interested, like I said, check out the Patreon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.